Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring you a strange case that has puzzled the residents of a small town in the Argentinian pampas for decades. We present to you the poltergeist of the pampas. This supernatural being has been known to move objects, make strange noises, and even harm those who dare to cross its path. Join us on this spine-chilling journey as we explore the mysterious and terrifying events that have occurred in St Ignacio. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button to be notified of our latest uploads. Let's dive into the world of the unknown and discover the secrets of the poltergeist of the pampas. In the heart of the Argentinian pampas, there was a small town named St Ignacio where life was peaceful and slow-paced. The town was surrounded by vast grasslands that stretched as far as the eye could see, and in the distance the Andes Mountains stood tall and proud. One summer, a strange occurrence began to happen in St Ignacio. People began to report that their houses were being haunted by a poltergeist. The poltergeist would move objects around, turn appliances on and off, and even make strange noises at night. At first, the townspeople dismissed the reports as mere superstition, but as the days went by, the activity of the poltergeist became more frequent and intense. Tragically, it seemed to have taken a particular interest in a young girl named Martina, who lived on the outskirts of town. Martina lived in her deceased grandmother's home in St Ignacio. She had to be close to school, as she was in her final year. Her parents lived on their cattle ranch out in the rural pampas. Martina was a kind and gentle young lady who loved to spend her afternoons reading or doing schoolwork. But as soon as the sun began to set, strange things would happen in her house. Chairs would move on their own, doors would slam shut, and shadows would dance on the walls. Martina tried to ignore the strange occurrences at first, but soon it became too much to bear. She confided in her friend, a local farmer named Juan, who promised to help her figure out what was going on. One night, the poltergeist's attacks became more violent than ever. As Martina lay in her bed, the poltergeist appeared and pinned her down, trying to choke her. Martina struggled to break free, but the poltergeist's grip only tightened. As she gasped for air, Martina remembered the words her grandmother had taught her, the Lord's Prayer. With all the strength she could muster, Martina began to recite the prayer. At first, her voice was barely audible, but as she repeated the words, her voice grew louder and more confident. Suddenly, the poltergeist's grip loosened and it vanished into thin air. Martina lay on the floor, panting and shaking, but relieved that the nightmare was finally over. After that terrifying incident, Martina knew that she had to be strong and courageous. She refused to let the poltergeist intimidate her, and she began to recite the Lord's Prayer every night before she went to bed. And though the poltergeist never attacked her again, Martina never forgot the lesson she had learned, that sometimes the most powerful weapon against the supernatural was faith and courage. One night, Juan and Martina decided to spend the night in her house, hoping to catch a glimpse of the poltergeist. As they were waiting, they suddenly heard strange noises coming from the kitchen. They cautiously made their way to the kitchen and found that the cabinets were opening and closing on their own. Suddenly, a cold breeze blew through the room and they heard a voice whispering their names. They turned around and saw a terrifying and shadowy figure in the corner of the room, its eyes glowing in the dark. Juan immediately knew what they were dealing with. The poltergeist was not just a mischievous spirit, but a malevolent one. He quickly took out a crucifix and began reciting prayers in Spanish, hoping to banish the poltergeist back to the realm of the dead. The poltergeist didn't go down without a fight. It flung objects around the room, trying to intimidate them, but Juan stood his ground, and soon the poltergeist vanished into thin air. From that day on, the town of St Ignacio was at peace. The poltergeist was never seen or heard from again, and Martina could finally sleep soundly at night. But Juan knew that he had to keep his guard up, for in a land as vast and mysterious as the Argentinian pampas, one never knew what other supernatural beings might be lurking in the shadows. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this story about a poltergeist haunting a small town in the Argentinian pampas. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling tales. Don't forget to ring the bell to be notified of our latest uploads, and we would love to hear your thoughts and comments on this story in the comments section below. Thanks again, and we hope to see you in our next ghostly adventure.